Here's something you need to realize about selling NFT art. It isn't just a process of slapping something up on OpenSea and hoping you get lucky. There's way more to it than that, and there's a lot you need to do if you really want to see your project become successful. So today, we're going to do something a little bit different from what I normally do. Instead of diving deep into one of these topics, I'm going to give you a hit list of different aspects for your project that you need to consider if you want to find success with your NFT. My name is Trent Kennelly. I'm a Web3 marketing strategist, and this is the best place for you to learn about Web3, the metaverse, NFTs, and how to market it all. So if that sounds good to you and you're excited, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're into it, comment to let me know the thing in this list that has you the most stuck. I would love to be able to help you, and let's get started. The first thing you need is a good concept. Please do not repeat something that you've seen before. Nobody's impressed with your pixelated apes, okay? The Bored Apes were original and interesting, but every pretender is boring and uninspired. So try to find something that stands out from the crowd a little bit. A great example of this is Azuki, which I talk about at length in this video. They knew anime art was in demand, but at the time, not much was out there. So they went for it and found huge success. Next, you need to focus on the art. I'm gonna say this again and again and again. I need to drive this home. The art matters. You can't just slap up a stick figure of Spider-Man and call it art. Nobody is going to be attracted to a project like this. If you don't have the artistic ability to do it yourself, that's fine. Pay someone else to do it. If you have great art, you're more likely to draw interest and get people excited about the project right away, rather than having to work up to that excitement later. A great example of strong art here is Wild Vikings. Really beautiful pieces, and the detail just sucks you in. They're more likely to see high sales because their project is so amazing looking. Next is the traits. So the traits in a project are the individual pieces of the art. So let's get a bit more detailed about what the NFT trait is here. So NFTs today are not 5,000 to 10,000 hand-drawn, meticulously created avatars. Instead, people are going to draw, let's say, 5 mouth shapes and 7 things in the avatar's hand and 3 heads, like hat, no hat, etc. 4 different shirts, 8 different background colors, and so on and so on. And they're going to draw all of those pieces individually. Then they get a program to collect one of each category together to create a unique image. So while yes, they are hand drawing all the pieces, they aren't compiling the NFT images together, and this is a lot less work. But here's the real power behind traits. By building them algorithmically, you can assign rarities. So maybe the avatar with the katana only appears 4% of the time. When you look at traits from the perspective of supply and demand, you realize that this specific trait being so rare is going to shoot the demand of it way up. So you've got a low supply, that's a higher demand. You got a lower demand, that's a higher supply, right? That's the basic scale. So if you add traits, you want to do it more specifically to add rarities into those traits as well, because that's how you're going to see traits lead to more sales. Next is utilities. So utilities are things that people get from buying your NFT besides the art itself. And while the art is important, you should see my second point for that, so are the utilities. In fact, a clear trend for NFTs is that utilities actually seem to hold more and more equal weight in the buying decision for the art. So it's really important that you give a lot of thought to what you want to offer in addition to those art collectibles themselves. Now, I'd always suggest trying to find something unique here since it can really help your project stand apart, but here are a few utilities that I've seen used pretty effectively up to now. Exclusive entry into clubs or restaurants is a big one. So if you have this NFT, you can get into these places only by showing that you do indeed own it, which is great for strengthening a community. So a great example of this is Gary Vee's Fly Fish Club. It's a restaurant you can only get in if you have that NFT, the Fly Fish NFT, or if you know someone who has that NFT, and you can be part of their group of 8. Cash giveaways are another good example. So NFT owners are eligible for winning a giveaway of a certain amount of cash at a certain time. This works to get people to buy and hold in the short term, but I do want to just caution you that ultimately it's going to lead to flipping unless there are some longer term utilities in play as well, because people are going to get past that cash grab and they're going to go, okay, I'm not interested anymore. Exclusive access to merchandise is another big one, which is exactly as it sounds. Only NFT holders can buy certain merchandise from the creator or whoever they have a partnership with. So a good example of this is back to Azuki. They have the exclusive collaborations as part of their NFT utility. The next point on the hit list is to start marketing early. So the biggest misconception about marketing is that you can be successful overnight. Yes, it is sometimes true that you can be, but really don't get your hopes up on sometimes, because sometimes is like 1 to 2% of the time. The more time you have to market your collection, generally speaking, the better off you're going to be. Remember, you are doing everything that you can to build a community of excited people who want to buy these NFTs. If you're totally unknown and pop up on Twitter tomorrow with, hey, I'm launching this new awesome NFT, everybody, nobody's gonna care because they don't know who you are. But more importantly, they probably won't even see the post since you haven't worked at all beforehand to build a community of people. That said, most of your early marketing is gonna be on social. So let's talk about which platform to focus on really quickly. They are, in the order of least important to most important, Instagram, Twitter, and Discord. So Instagram has some traffic, but the discussion really is on Twitter. That's where most people are discussing new drops, getting involved with cool new innovations in the space, etc. But Twitter should be thought of as an attention-grabbing technique that then guides people to the Discord. If you have people on a Discord server, then you have them in a location where you can talk directly to them about your offer and your launch. And I don't want to use the word captive, but I guess I'll use the word captive. It's a little bit more captive. But just one word of caution on social media here. Under no circumstances should any of these social channels be used specifically for pushing your own product. People don't want to be sold to all the time. You need to make every effort to pull them in and get them excited to interact with your brand. And one of the best ways to do that is simply to start conversations. Next is your website. So not enough people talk about this one, but a website is so important for your NFT's success. Do you think you can tell the story of your project, who the characters are, what the utilities are, etc. on OpenSea? Absolutely not. There is no space for it, and frankly, nobody's reading that part of your gallery or profile anyway. But the website is a way to show people your message in an environment that you control and that can be used to recapture those leads to market to later. I talk a lot about NFT websites in this video, which you should check out, but here are a few pointers right now just to get you started. First, you want people to be enticed to learn more based on the first sentence that they see, aka the headline. Next, you want to be fashion forward. So a space like the NFT space is still chiefly used by first adopters, which are people who take on any technology and are generally very tech competent. To attract this group, you need to be bold with your website. Don't be afraid to do something a little bit crazy. However, and this is my final big pointer, do not forget the buttons. If people have nowhere to continue down the funnel, they're just gonna leave. So make sure that they have some way to take next steps all the time. Next is email. So this is another area that most NFT creators really aren't talking about right now, but email is still one of the highest open and click-through rate channels that you can have in your back pocket. So use your website to collect emails. You then start marketing to those emails around launch time. So I would suggest 7 emails, 1 to 2 before the launch, 2 on the day of the launch, and the rest over the next few days. This is going to keep people aware of what's happening with the launch and drive people who might have forgotten or been hesitating to make a purchase themselves. Now, in order to build that email list, you typically need a giveaway of some sort. People need to feel like they're getting something for giving you their email address. In traditional digital marketing, that would be an ebook or something like that. I would suggest in this situation that you look at a raffle to win one of the NFTs or one of X whitelist spots or something like that. I think that's probably the best approach. And speaking of those whitelist spots, my next point is that you build a whitelist. A whitelist is a list of individuals who have a right to buy an NFT earlier than the general public. This typically gives them the ability to search around and find the ones that they want without worrying about them being snapped up in 3 or 4 minutes, okay? But that's not why a whitelist is great for you. Now, the reason that you as the seller want one is because it drives further interest in the project and a higher likelihood that those in the whitelist are going to follow through with their purchase. You can learn more about whitelist by looking at this video that I put up not too long ago. And then finally, make sure that you don't stop pushing just because you've launched the thing. Launching is the beginning of the journey. You still have so much to do. You want this community to grow, you have to foster it forever. You want the NFT to keep trading at high levels, you need to keep promoting it. You want people to stay excited, you have to keep pushing the boundaries of the project. This thing doesn't stop at launch, so just keep going. So there you go, there's your hit list. I hope that it was helpful for you to kind of see a bare bones outline of the steps that have to be taken. Yes, there is a lot, but if you look at it in this way, it kind of helps you to form your thoughts and take more action more easily. Let me know if there's anything here that's really got you stuck and that you really need help on. I would love to be able to help you out. Otherwise, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're into it, and I will catch you in the next one.